how bright this is. Whoa, this feels real weird. All right. Hi guys! This is so weird to me because I haven't filmed in, hold please, almost 4 months ago. Dang, that's a long time for me. I mean, I know I go like periods without posting, but I think 4 months has been like one of the longest. And I was on a good roll there. So I'm really sorry for my absence, but so freaking much has happened over these last 4 months. And yeah, I'm just gonna make this video. It's gonna be a very cash get ready with me. So yeah, hopefully I don't F this up too much because it's been so long since I filmed. I forgot how to do it. Even setting up my lights was weird. Like, I was like, what? I just gave myself a trim. So hopefully my hair doesn't look as dead and dry and scraggly as it did before. That's another thing I don't think I've ever talked about. My hair, I get a lot of questions on Instagram and through YouTube comments about my hair. So when I get my roots touched up next week, maybe in the next video that I post, I'll go over like my hair and like what I ask for and pictures I show and stuff like that, and like my hair history, because a lot of people want to know that stuff. Wow, I forgot how talking to a camera makes me so out of breath. But all right, so like I said, this is going to be casual, get ready with me. So if I don't tell you guys the products I'm using, then I definitely will leave it down below in the description bar in case you want to know what I'm doing. But just to start off, I'm just going to apply just a teeny bit of moisturizer. This is the Henriksen Sea Rush Brightening Gel Cream. I'm sure so many of you guys have seen this product before because a lot of YouTubers use it. But I'm just going to apply that all over, and I'm going to apply some eye cream. So the reason I wanted to make this video was because I randomly had this idea on my way home from work yesterday. I just wanted to talk about, you know, my experience with having boyfriend, significant other in the military. I know everyone's experience is not going to be the same, but, you know, I just wanted to talk about what I've been through so far and, you know, what to expect and stuff like that. Okay, so I barely started applying eye cream like a couple months ago, and my birthday was 2 weeks ago. I just turned 25. I needed to start getting on anti-aging products, eye cream, because your girl is not trying to age. Like, I'm trying to get my Jane Fonda on and look 20, 25 years younger than what I really look. So before I continue, I don't even know why I didn't say this to begin with, but I got engaged. Oh my god, I know, it's so weird. I never thought that I would be one of those like giddy types when it comes to like stuff like that, but I think once it happens to you, you're just like, oh. But yeah, so I got engaged. We got engaged the 24th, so Christmas Eve, and for sure one of the best experiences of my life. It's so crazy to think that I'm like for sure off the market. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of time. We've been together almost 7 years now, so why not do it? I know in this title, I think I'm gonna put like what it's like to have a boyfriend in the military, and instead of spouse, because originally I wanted to put what it's like to have a spouse in the military, but we're not married yet, so I didn't want to like talk about that, just because I know that when you actually are married, you do get certain benefits and stipends and allowances and things like that. So obviously I don't have that type of information yet. So I don't want to put that in the title, because once we do get married, I'll make another video and talk about that. So when I say boyfriend, I mean my fiance, but yeah, I'm not going to say that. So my boyfriend went into the Navy about, I can't do math, but in September. So he wanted to go into the Navy for a really long time, and he just decided to end up doing it. So I'm just going to start out what it was like to, you know, experience him gone, and like how I had to deal with it, you know, tips and tricks that I did to keep my mind off of not being able to talk to him or see him, and, you know, just going from one extreme to the other. So I know this experience is not going to be like the same for everybody, but at the same time, I just want to give you guys my experience and what I've dealt with. So like I said, my boyfriend and I have been together for almost 7 years. It'll be 7 years in April. And obviously no one's relationship is perfect, and ours was definitely not perfect. This type of situation is definitely a make or break a relationship type of event, because, you know, that's one thing that we did talk about before he left. Some people just really need that type of constant affection, which I'm not like that. So if you are, I can't really relate to you in that sort of way, because I don't constantly need someone to be all over me. I don't need someone to constantly be talking to me. Like, even now, like, my boyfriend and I don't talk all day. And that was even before he went into the military. Like, we weren't constantly texting 24/7. Like, chill, we're gonna see each other in a couple hours, so it's fine. But I mean, if you are that type of person, then I mean, I'm sure this experience is gonna be way difficult for you, because, you know, like, okay, so basically he went into boot camp. His boot camp was 8 weeks long. And he doesn't get, obviously they take away everything, his cell phone, his belongings, and the only thing you can communicate by is letters. So we did write numerous letters to each other, but a funny story actually was that, so the first 3 weeks, I believe, that he was gone, 3.5 weeks, we did not speak whatsoever, and I was just really confused as to why I hadn't received a letter from him. And I was like, this is weird, because all of the things that I was reading online, they like received a letter from them, or like from their family, within the first week, and I hadn't received a letter from him whatsoever for 3.5 weeks, I think it was. And then one day his cousin texted me and said, like, oh, I spoke to Patrick, he sent me a letter and I just sent him one back, like, have you gotten any? And I'm like, no, what the heck? Like, so basically my mind started racing, and I was like, oh my god, like, what if he doesn't want to be with me anymore? What if he ditched me? Like, blah blah blah. And I was just so hurt, so devastated, because, you know, his cousin spoke to him before his girlfriend. And yeah, so I was just not having it. I was so sad. I was crying. I remember being in Palm Springs, like, out with my girlfriend, and I was just like crying, and it was so funny. But anyways, it just ended up being this whole mix-up. So I remember it was a Saturday. I just got home from Palm Springs. I went straight to take a nap. And so he called me. It woke me up, but I didn't recognize the number, and I was not like expecting any type of call from him. So I just remember the phone call woke me up, and I was like, what? And then I guess he apparently called my mom, and I hear my mom screaming downstairs like, oh my god, and I was just like, what is it, what is it? So I went downstairs, and she's like, it's Patrick, and I'm like, oh my god, what happened to him? And then she was like, no, he's on the phone. And so we talked, and basically, like, the funny story is that he got my address mixed up. So instead of, like, he mixed up the numbers. Instead of 1563, it was like 1653, I think he put. And so luckily the lady, like, down the street had them. And so he like knew my real address, so we were able to like start sending the right letters. As far as like what it was like for me the first couple weeks, it was so rough. Like, okay, sorry guys, I zoomed you in so you can see what I'm doing. So after dropping him off at MEPS and saying that first goodbye was like literally one of the worst experiences of my life. Like, I was just so depressed, and for the next 2 weeks I just remember like going about my day, going to school, going to work, and then going to my internship. And as soon as I got home, I just like bawled my eyes out every single day for like 2 weeks. It literally felt like a piece of me was missing. And I know not everyone's going to experience that, because like maybe you're not as attached to your significant other, but he and I were definitely like always together. Like, he lived with me like for the last 6 months prior to him going into the Navy. So we were together for a long time. We were just used to seeing each other so often. And then he moves in with me basically. So I'm used to seeing him 24/7. And then one day he just leaves. And another reason it was so hard for me was because he is one of the only people on this earth that make me feel better when I'm having like a panic attack or like when I just feel super anxious. Like he is one of the only ones that can calm me down and make me feel safe, make me feel better. So to know that he wasn't there anymore for me was just like super hard. And it's not like I felt like this feeling of like, oh, you abandoned me, because I know that he went in to, you know, make a career and provide a better life for us and things like that. So I didn't feel like any like hard feelings towards him in that way. But just knowing that I couldn't call him or I couldn't text him and then not hug him or see him if I was getting super anxious was really, really like scary for me. After 2 weeks, it kind of got better. And the funny thing is I literally tell so many people that I can't imagine a better time for him to have left, because as soon as he left, school got really crazy for me. I started getting a lot more hours at work, and I had started my internship at the hospital. So, I mean, I was constantly busy, constantly on the go, and it really kind of worked out for me because I didn't have as much time to, you know, sit around and cry about missing him because I was constantly doing stuff. I'm just so thankful that I was like, my whole day was filled up with things and I was constantly going to the gym and things like that and hanging out with my friends. But yeah, moral of that story was I'm just so glad he left at that specific time, because who knows like how I would have felt or been if I didn't have things to do and fill up my day with. So I guess like one piece of advice I have to, you know, anyone whose significant other is going into the military is just to like focus on yourself. If you're not in school or not busy with work, then I really suggest, you know, finding a new hobby or something that's going to preoccupy your time. So I'm not exactly sure how other branches work, but I'm pretty sure they're like similar when it comes to boot camp and things like that. But he did end up calling me 3 times while he was in boot camp, and we got to talk for maybe 20 minutes each time, and it was really, really cool just to hear like what he had to say. And you know, I caught him up on different things with his family because I kept in touch with them, and you know, just little things like that made him feel better. But he did tell me about this app called Sandbox, and that's what I used to send him letters. It does cost money and it kind of is pricey. It's $3.99 per letter you send, but the really cool thing is that you can just attach, you write it basically on your phone, which is obviously an app, and then you just attach a picture that you want to send, and it sends to him like I believe within 2 to 3 days. So he gets them really fast because it's like done through them. I'm really grateful for that app because like I said, I was just so busy. I don't know when I would have had time to constantly go to the post office and mail letters. I don't use it anymore obviously because he has his phone now, but it really came in handy for me. And my mom used it. I believe some of his family members used it. It was just really nice and convenient. He graduated boot camp in November. Yeah, November. So it was in Chicago, and we went, and it was so amazing to see him. I ran up to him so freaking fast. Like, oh my gosh, it was just like the best feeling in the world to see him. I couldn't explain to you like how much I missed him. I mean, I'm sure some of you may know like that feeling, like whether you have someone in the military or not, but like just being able to see them actually in person and not just like writing letters or speaking to them over the phone for a couple minutes is like, it's just an amazing feeling. Like I just missed him so, so much. So we got to spend the day together after his graduation in Chicago, and he had to be back, I believe, at the base by 8 or 9. So we dropped him off, and then luckily the next day he didn't have to ship out to A school yet. He didn't ship out until Sunday. His graduation was Friday and we left the next day on Saturday, but our flight wasn't until late in the evening. So We got to see him, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7 hours during the day Saturday before we left to back home to LA. So that was really cool. We got to see him an extra day basically. And that I know will happen if your recruit, it sounds so funny, if your person is not shipping out until the following day, because I know some people actually left to A school Saturday, so they didn't have that extra day with their family, but luckily we did. So it was really cool. We went to breakfast, we just like walked around, we got to shop at the Navy Exchange store. I bought way too much stuff, but it was so cool because I saw like Nike and Adidas stuff that was like $15–20 less than like retail price. So I was like, hell yeah. So I bought a bunch of stuff. They had perfume. Basically, like, I had never even been to one, but it like was so cool. It was like a giant Walmart plus a section of Macy's, like the cosmetics area, plus like a shoe department. It was really, really cool. Like, they had Alex and Ani bracelets. He bought me one there. So that was a cool experience because we got to see like different stuff in there. Oh, and then like we got, I got like a Navy girlfriend sweatshirt. I got some stuff from my parents. So I highly recommend if you go to your person's graduation, or if you just have the opportunity to go to like a Navy Exchange or like whatever branch it's for, then you'll get some really cool deals and find some really good stuff. So we did that, and then we had to say goodbye. That was really, really, really hard because it was almost like I got him back for like a millisecond and then he had to leave again. Sorry guys, my camera cut out. So yeah, so after we got to see him graduate, he went to A school. He went to A school in Pensacola. So obviously there was a time difference of 3 hours. But he did get to keep his phone, which was really awesome. So I did get to speak to him like throughout the, I think it was like a month he was there. So that was really cool because like obviously it was way better than not having communication with him and having to like communicate every couple days through letters. Whoa, my under eyes look crazy. Other than that, I mean, he went to A school, like I said, for about a month. And after he graduated from A school, he was able to come home for the holidays, which I'm so freaking thankful for, because like I know he told me that there was a lot of people that he knew that were like different positions or whatever and didn't get to go home for the holidays. So yeah, so he came home for, I think it was 11 days. It flew by so freaking fast, you guys. Like, it makes me so sad to remember like how fast it flew by, but it's, like I said, I'm just grateful for him even being able to come home at all. So yeah, basically he was home for 11 days and then he had to report to his first like I think they call them orders or something, wherever he's gonna be stationed at now. I don't want to give away too much information because I don't know like creepy people that watch this, but yeah, so he's stationed where he's gonna be for the next 2 years, I believe. He might have to deploy in September. That is something that I really don't want to think about. It's just like freaking me out because they have to be gone for 6 months at a time, and obviously they're at sea and there's no reception on the ocean, so I would only be able to talk to him like periodically for 6 months, and like just thinking about it I want to cry. Like, it's just so crazy to me that people go through that. If you actually care about the person and you've been with them for a really long time and you know, whatever, it really is hard. Like, it's not just like, okay, bye, see you in a couple years. Like, obviously, you know, there's so many moves, there's so many changes. Like, you can either stay where you live or you can travel with your soldier or whatever to the place that, you know, they're assigned to, and it's hard. One thing I do want to touch upon is, you know, how it is now and like my feelings about him being so far and things like that. Basically, like, obviously he has his phone, so we talk every day. There is a really big time, well, not big, but it's a pretty, you know, decent time difference. So we don't have much time in the day to speak to each other. He is on a ship right now, so when he goes to sleep and when he wakes up, he doesn't have reception on the ship, so he has to wait until he gets off of it to text me or call me or FaceTime me. Okay guys, sorry. I took like a 20-minute break to go eat a vegan banana nut bread my mom made me yesterday. I literally engorged and ate the whole thing. And then I also watched the new James Charles video where he got his makeup done by Mario. Can I just say that, like, I'm manifesting this into the world. One day I will have my makeup done by Mario. Okay? I know I will. Do you ever have like those like feelings where it seems so far-fetched, but you're like, bro, it'll happen. The palette I'm using right now is the Violet Voss Holy Grail palette. Looks like that. I left off with talking about how now he's stationed across the country, and you know, we talk here and there during the day, but I am going out there I believe the 15th of February, so in about 2.5 weeks, to see him for 4 days. So I'm super excited. The thing that everyone keeps asking me is like, how is it like to be engaged? Which I'm sure is like a legitimate question because it's a big deal. But for me, it's like, I haven't really been able to experience what it's truly like being engaged in things, because we got engaged like pretty late Christmas Eve, and then I spent the day with him obviously on Christmas Day, and he left the day after. So it's like, I don't know what it's really like to be engaged. So that's the only thing that's kind of like crappy about the situation. But I mean, I don't know. I think the number one thing that has kind of gotten me through, a lot of him being gone is just reminding myself that he has it hard over there too. He's with a bunch of guys that have become his friends and things like that. So, I mean, obviously it's not like he's completely isolated, but you know, obviously I know he misses me, he misses his family, he misses my family, he misses our dogs and things like that. So I know it is hard on him too. So I just keep telling myself like, he's doing this for us, for a better future, so he'll have more opportunities, and you know, maybe he'll stay in the military like long term. I don't know, we're still discussing that, but it is hard, but I think it is worth it if the person you're with is doing it to better themselves and to better their lives and to benefit your relationship and things like that. So he and I have been together for so long, but the first couple years that we were together, we were just so immature and young and stupid, and we would just argue about dumb things. I came out of a really bad relationship when I was young, and he hadn't really had like a real girlfriend yet, and we basically just fought all the time over like the most dumbest things. We fought almost every day, and they were like big blowouts. It got to the point where it was taking a toll on me, him, our relationship, and even like those around us, because we would just be such an inconvenience, like arguing all the time about stupid things that like literally did not matter now that I look back. Luckily, before he left, maybe like the past 2.5, 3 years, we got so much better. And again, I think that came with like growing up, maturity, and just like experiencing different things that are like actually serious, and like, you know, having to worry about bills, like school, your future. When we were like 18, 19, we were just worried about like partying and like, oh, why did you post that on Instagram? Like just stupid things that I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, like who has even time to argue about that? But here and there we did argue, but it was definitely about like things of substance that actually mattered. But it did get so much better, and I was fortunate enough to, you know, have a pretty decent and good relationship with him before he left. As the days got closer, and you know, I knew within a couple weeks, months, whatever, that he was gonna leave, like we just stopped really arguing about things, and it became pretty serious because we both knew that like this was gonna change a lot of things. Okay, pause. I'm using the new Fenty Beauty Concealer that I got, but I kind of regret getting this color. I got it in the shade 105, and this thing is really white. So let's see how this is gonna look. It's like a pretty cool applicator. It's like pinched at the top, so it kind of like goes in. So let's see. Ooh, that's real thick. Okay, I'm just gonna put that much because that already looks like a lot. We had time to miss each other, and I think that was the #1 important thing for us, because honestly, I think that him being gone kind of made our relationship better. And I know that sounds crazy, but like I said, it just gave us time to miss each other. It gave us time to grow ourselves without constantly being down each other's neck. And like I'm saying, not that we were like fighting constantly like we used to back in the day, but we were still always together because we lived together, and you know, we would do everything together. We basically had like a lot of the same friends. We would go out together, so we were just constantly together. So having that space, I think, really benefited us. And when we've seen each other now, like when I saw him in Chicago and then again when he came home, like we didn't fight at all. Like it literally was like we were in that honeymoon phase again, which I know is not really practical to think that it's gonna be like that forever, but I think it just made me appreciate him. I think it made me appreciate our relationship, and you know, and realize that we don't have enough time together to, you know, focus on the stupid things that don't matter. Like we just really cherished each other. We cherished the time we had together, and I'm actually really glad that, you know, he went in and he enlisted and things are going really good, and obviously that I'm engaged now. But yeah, so I know again, that's not going to be everyone's situation, but I just want to like emphasize that this is definitely a make or break situation. You got to be strong. You got to be there for your person, because again, you're not the one that's away from everything. You're the one that's here holding down the fort. So you got to be strong for them. If they call you and they're like, I don't want to do this anymore, like I want to come home, you just got to be a really good support system for them. And that's what I tried to be up until this day and since the day he left. And that's like one of my big goals this year is, you know, we probably won't see each other very often. I mean, I'm not rich. I can't buy a plane ticket across country for every weekend or every other weekend. So, I mean, we aren't going to see each other very much, but I just know that I'm going to try to be there for him as much as I possibly can, and, you know, constantly motivate him every day that I speak to him. And, you know, I tell him I miss him, but I think I also tell him that, you know, I know that what he's doing is really brave and I'm super proud of him. And yeah, so that's basically what I wanted to talk about there. I hope that helped at least a little bit. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop on my lashes and I'll be right back. Okay, so I ended up finishing most of my face. I just got distracted because I haven't filmed in so long. Oh my god, I just drooled. I just forget how long things take. So, sorry, but this wasn't really a big tutorial anyways. I just have to add highlight. But I did want to talk to you guys about this really, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen on every YouTuber's makeup collection, but I ended up getting these acrylic container organizer things from the brand By Allegory. I bought like 6 of them and they were on sale on the website, not on Amazon. On Amazon, they're full price. I'm not sure if they're gonna like shut down their website and that's why they're doing like a sale, but it is such good quality. Like when I got the package, it was really, really heavy. So I'm really excited that I bought those. So I know I'm gonna get some questions about this, but as of right now, because we are engaged, we obviously don't live together. If I wanted to go move out there with him, I totally can, and it is an option, but we're still thinking about it, weighing our options, and it also depends if he is going to deploy, because what would be the point of me going there to be by myself? So that's where we're at now. But honestly guys, I'm in such a good place right now. I'm so happy, and I'm just really glad that I've gotten used to him like not being here, because it was definitely a struggle the first couple weeks. So I know if you're in the same situation or if you're just going through it now, like it really does just take time. Just occupy yourself for a while. Just like find a hobby, do something that will occupy your time, and the time will go by a lot faster. In case you guys were wondering, I used the Dose of Colors iluvsarahii palette. I used this one for my all over my lid. For lips today, I'm just going to do my all-time favorite gloss, which is the NYX Butter Gloss in Madelaine, I don't know. I have two best friends named Madelaine and they both pronounce it the same way, but spelled differently. So I actually got kind of a lot of questions on the video I did about getting Dysport. That was maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. Since then, I think like 3 months ago, I ended up getting Botox. So I got the actual brand Botox in my forehead and I had such a different reaction. Like it was like the reaction you're supposed to have, which is basically nothing. Like you're not supposed to feel any type of like burning or itching or anything. So I got it in my forehead and obviously it wore off a little bit. I think I did 20 units, which I think was a bit much for me. So next time I go, which is probably gonna be like another 3 months, I'll do maybe 15 units at a time, because there was like a point where I couldn't raise my eyebrow to like do my eyeshadow. So that was like a little too much, but I'm really happy with the results. And I go to Flawless Laser Center in Burbank, which I know like a bunch of influencers go there. Yeah, so I really love the way that they did my Botox. Okay guys, well thank you so much for joining me today. I promise I'm gonna upload more videos. I can't promise you how often because I'm in school and like it just takes priority and it takes up so much of my time interning at the hospital and things like that. So I can't promise like a specific schedule, but I will definitely upload more. And wow, I can't believe just like trimming my hair like an inch really just gave my hair so much like life. I'm so happy. So don't forget to trim your hair. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm sorry it was all over the place because I'm sure it was. Like I said, it really throws me off when I don't record for a while and then I just like get out of breath and forget like what I'm talking about. So again, I'm really sorry, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys want to chat or, you know, talk to me about anything, then just start a conversation with me in the comments and I promise you I will reply. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.